Welcome to the blackawakening.com. I'm your host, spiritual practitioner 322 Pepe Black Sun. Today we're going to discuss a Roda Osman Bashe, 33 years of age, a Somalian national. She is known as AKA the Brick Lady. She was assaulted, allegedly, by not giving her cell phone number to a man, an unidentified man, who struck her on the side of her face with a brick. Now she states that the black men that witnessed it did not intervene with her being assaulted, and she blames the black men for not intervening while she sustained her injuries, her alleged injuries to her face. Let's examine this.
Yo, this man just hit me in my face with a brick, and all these black men just watch, and they don't give a fuck. Yeah, this man hit me, grabbed a rock, and he hit me in my fucking face because I would have given him my number. And all y'all just fucking watch. Y'all see that shit? Y'all see that shit? What y'all do? I want y'all to be a man. I want y'all to be a man and fucking do something. Y'all gonna let a man hit me in my face? Man, fuck all y'all niggas. Have I ever done to anybody in my life to deserve this? I never did anything in my life to hurt anybody. Literally, a man asked me for my number. I said no, and he picked up a brick in front of so many men and was like, "What you gonna do?" And I told all these men, like, "Yo, why this man got a brick on my face?" And he's holding a brick, and all these niggas is watching, and nobody does nothing. And he hits me in my face, and then they all just watch, and they let that nigga get in the car. How is this okay? This is what y'all doing to women?
Now that story is very nefarious. Initially, this story went viral. Here at the blackawakening.com, we oppose any form of violence against our people, especially our children and women. We advocate for the defense of indigenous black women here. The blackawakening.com is heavily censored here for advocating unity, defending indigenous black women. Okay? So we are diligently working to create another platform so we can speak upon unity in our families and defending our indigenous black women and children. But as we go further with the story, and our research team uncovers a whole series of patterns as far as with this Roda Osman Bashe, numerous GoFundMes and several attacks by unidentified men. We can start on July 28th, 2020. She did a GoFundMe to help black Muslim mother pay for her medical. Here she claims she was viciously assaulted by private security in Minneapolis. She says she sustained multiple fractures and contusions, a black eye, and injured her leg and back. Then she started another GoFundMe on Facebook, family friend. She requested people to donate to help with the funeral costs of Hashim Hashe. The goal was to raise $55,000. They raised $55,747. Then, May 9th, 2022, she requested funds because she didn't have no money for the entire summer and for her son's birthday. Plus, she just moved into a new place, so she needed some funds in her new place. Here, she claims she was maced by a bunch of men. She fell down the escalator, injured her back, and couldn't walk for 3 days. She stated her bank account got hacked, close friends stolen from her, and she was receiving death threats. Then on February 8th, 2023, she alleged she was attacked by a white employee at the Hilton Garden Hotel in Austin, Texas. She also claimed she was surrounded by 5 men at the hotel. And she stated that this employee was harassing her because she's alleged smoke of marijuana was coming out her room because she was in a smoke-free part of the hotel which I think all hotels are smoke-free by now. Then, September 3rd, 2023, she did a GoFundMe for medical bills. Her goal was $2,000, and she raised $2,000. Then, September 4th, 2023, she had a GoFundMe for $25,000, and she raised $42,037 for medical. Then she started another GoFundMe, September 6th. The goal was $10,000, it's still open. Then there was another GoFundMe open, September 11th, 2023. The goal was $40,000, it is still open. Then there was another one, the last one was open, September 12th, 2023 for $25,000, and it's still currently open. So, after researching this, we came across another content creator that went a little further as far as what witnesses and what a nurse stated why Miss Osman was in the medical clinic for. Let's examine this.
Assalamu alaikum. Rhoda here to remind you that every time you lie to somebody, you're taking away their choice. You're taking away the ability for them to make a decision that's good for themselves. And that's why I always lie to the people of the global minority and men.
With a rejection that took a dangerous turn, a Houston woman is recovering after she says a man hit her in the head, in the face, with a brick. Roda Bashe says he attacked her after she refused to give him her cell phone number, all while a crowd of men stood there watching.
What have I ever done to anybody? So many women come in to help me. I appreciate it. I'm in gratitude, but I don't appreciate being censored and talked about. There's a lot of bullying, there's a lot of fucking bullshit, and y'all just kill me because I didn't have a choice, you know what I mean? There was nothing I could have done to anticipate something like that to happen. There's like zero that I could have done. If y'all want to talk about this conversation, go ahead, because I'm the one that brought it online, but censor him. Put his face out there. Put his face out there. Y'all talk about him because he's the one who made a choice. What have I ever done to anybody in my life to deserve this? I never did anything in my life to hurt anybody.
And the Oscar goes to
the nurse from the alleged hospital was not a hospital. It was a clinic. And this is what she had to say. Yes, she came in to get the saline extracted from the side of her face, which means she never got hit with a brick. She injected saline into her face to create the lump. That's why she wore the ski mask, so y'all wouldn't see the lump that she created. And don't forget, she's in the medical field, so she has access to saline. Anyway, let's finish reading. She claimed it was a botched beauty treatment. That's definitely our med check, not the hospital. She must have filmed that little clip while waiting on the nurse after asking her to put on the gown. And y'all fell for this. Y'all fell for this. This is the nurse from the clinic. But I couldn't, she gave me other receipts, but I can't show you those receipts. She wanted to prove to me that this was fake. And she begged me not to show you all those receipts because it could get her fired. So we are not going to give you those receipts, but I'm here to tell you, that woman's lying for money. Go to her Instagram. You see the other video when she did the same in 2020. If y'all was on our live last night, y'all would have saw the investigation we did, the surveillance we did, the phone calls we made, the people we talked to, only to discover this was all a hoax. After contacting the police, the internet contacted the police has no report of the incident. After the venue owner, right there where it happened, checked all of his surveillance cameras, he alleges nothing like this ever happened, that she just came out of nowhere with all these accusations. The guys that were standing around in this video says they never saw the incident. They just heard her screaming and yelling and yapping, and they called the police. She was out there acting crazy and ridiculous, and they just said they left. when the police got there, but they never saw anybody hit her with the brick. So long story short, this woman does a lot for views, likes, and GoFundMes. Go look at her GoFundMe history. Go look at her viral history. She does whatever she can to get viral. And the internet is believing that she did sustain real injuries somehow, but she used that to make money and to gain fame through viral videos. And she knew it would work if she blamed black men. And look what happened. Black women lost their mind. They just start bashing black men all across the world because we're trying to hold her accountable like we did Carly Russell. The fact is, this was a hoax for viral views and the $32,000 that she's already raised on her GoFundMe, which she's done before.
Yo, this man just hit me in my face with a brick, and all these black men just watch, and they don't give a Yeah, this man hit me, grabbed a rock, and he hit me in my fucking face, because I would have given him my number. And all y'all just watch. Y'all see it? Y'all see it? What y'all do? I want y'all to be a man. I want y'all to be a man and fucking do something. Y'all gonna let a man hit me in my face? All y'all.
Shout out to this brother on.
She was sitting right there, but she was literally right there, bro. We just like, what just happened, bro? We just hit you with a brick. She talking about a guy in the suit. You know what I mean? But we saw the guy out here though. We never knew he was a bad guy though. You know what I mean? We saw the guy out here, like we working and stuff like that. So that was around here and stuff like that. It was moving and stuff like that with the girl before she got hit with the brick, you know. So what happened? We just don't know what happened. I think they had like an argument or something like that. We just don't know. Before you know, she was trying to fight with another. Yeah, she was trying to fight with another girl right there before she got hit with a brick. You know what I mean? She was trying to fight. You know what I mean? So what happened is we were just out here. We was chilling and stuff like that. We went in the gas station right after we came back outside. She was right there talking about, I got hit with the brick, you know. And we was trying to help her. That's all we was trying to do. You see what I'm saying? We were trying to help her. I called the police and stuff like that. They pulled up. I talked to them. I know they got the video. The police got the video. Yeah, we can pull out the video. I was talking to the police. She was behind me. You know what I mean?
$35,000 in just one day. Everybody was.
And they mad because you trying to beat somebody. They mad because he's trying to beat somebody. I'm trying to be a doctor and they mad. Look what they did to me. Look what they did to me for no reason. They don't beat me up. I'm 30 years old. They don't beat me up. Grown try to beat me up. Grown try to beat me up for no reason. Look at me. I'm not a bad person. Y'all know that. Y'all know I'm a good person. And they try to do this to me. I hope every black woman is kissing another black woman because we are the innate protectors and the providers. We protect societies, we protect communities with our intellectual property, with our lived experiences, with our breast milk, with our bodies. We're the ones. Because men are not providers and protectors, not innately, because they only protect what they possess. And don't forget, before there was feminism, it was lesbians who were living those lives without worried about niggas. Like, they were not worried about niggas. They were decentering men. So before there was feminism.
Our late great Dr. King quoted, "I have a dream that my 4 little girls will one day live in a nation where they'll not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character." So if we look at Miss Osman's character, what will we find? If we go back to September 2018 on her Twitter page, an angry black Muslim woman, which clearly shows from her, "I am a powerful witch. Men, F you, pay me." Then on January 27th, 2022, she posted her preference far as with mates or being attracted to black women. Her remarks is duh. So Miss Roda Osman Bashe, according to her, claims to be a Muslim or a black Muslim woman. Now let's look at how she represents Muslim women or black Muslim women. Let's take a good look. Look at her attire. Now she's out in this video having a good time up in the bar lounge, drinking alcohol. She's wearing something revealing with the Dixie cups covering her areola. She's speaking in vulgarity and obscenities. Now, is this how a black Muslim woman, devout Muslim, conducts herself? This is the attire a black Muslim or a Muslim woman wears, according to the Quran. Understanding being Muslim meaning the total submission to Allah. Muhammad is the messenger in the Holy Quran. So what you see is contradicting to Islam, blasphemy, mockery. In some nations, it will be punishable in accordance to the law. How she has a disregard for Islam. Now, if you understand that there's an agenda behind this woman going viral. See, the seeds of Satan in the man of lawlessness knows that there's division in the house because they indoctrinated you with this mindset to where the black man and the black woman are divided, fighting amongst themselves. They know a house divided won't stand, deploying psychological warfare to create gender war amongst the indigenous black families. Understand this, people. So some of our indigenous black women having selective outrage against this alleged incident with no evidence of nothing, but not having the stories that's affecting indigenous black women every day going viral. We can't have selective outrage. Oh, but for those who have may forgot what has been happening, let me remind you of certain things. Let's examine this.
A family in Antioch is just devastated after learning that prosecutors are dropping the case against two suspects because the main witnesses, are Antioch police officers involved in that racist texting scandal. KF's Jana Katsuyama spoke with the mother and sister of the victim in this case. Jana.
Heather, this has been such a difficult and emotional journey for them. They say they'd been in court for every hearing and were stunned to hear that this case was being dismissed. Michaela Schauman's family says the wounds have been ripped open again.
I was destroyed. Sad, beyond control.
It's been 8 months since 25-year-old Michaela's body was found burned along a trail near Gentrytown Drive.
We'll never see her get married, never see her have a baby, none of those things, because two men took her life right down there.
Now, they say they're grieving a second time. Contra Costa County's district attorney's office announced Wednesday that prosecutors are dismissing the case against the two suspects. The reason? Prosecutors say the case against the suspects, Ashton Montalvo and D'Angelo Boone, relied heavily on investigative work by Antioch police officers who are part of the racist text message scandal.
They are material witnesses to the case. And no prosecution can proceed if the material witnesses to the case cannot testify.
Assistant District Attorney Annie Esposito reviewed the evidence, and she says the scandal that revealed racist text messages between more than 40 officers is having a huge impact, forcing prosecutors to review every single case the officers touched.
They have to be reviewed individually, case by case by case. We cannot make because one size does not fit all. And because of that, it's a lot of work.
It punched me in the gut to know that my sister will never get justice because of something that's going on in our city. It just doesn't make sense.
Michaela's family says in this case they want Antioch police and prosecutors to refile criminal charges based on surveillance video and other evidence, something that the DA's office says they will do if new evidence emerges.
We want to investigate every avenue there is, explore every avenue there is.
There's too much evidence.
That's right.
Too much for them to let this go.
A camera on top of Huntsville Police Headquarters captured this tragic situation. Christina Nance went inside this unlocked Huntsville police van on September 25th, trapping herself inside.
We used that van to transport prisoners. Once you're in that van, somebody has to let you out of the van.
Huntsville police investigators combed through hours and hours of surveillance video. Deputy Chief Dwayne McCarver tells us the camera also caught Nance pushing a window open from inside the van 3 days later.
It was open plenty to hear outside the van or to yell to outside of the van.
But no one knew she was there until October 7th. That's when her body was found after a pair of shoes sitting outside the van caught an officer's eye.
We simply have no idea of knowing what her state of mind was, what was going on there. Again, we just, it's just a tragedy.
But they did know Nance. McCarver says the crisis intervention team, which helps people who are in an altered mental state, has helped her in the past. Friday, Nance's family sat down with Huntsville police to view the video themselves. But they say they don't feel any closure because the video quality is so poor.
That was just very heartbreaking to know that we didn't get the clarification that we really needed, that we wanted.
As for the van being unlocked, McCarver says that is a mistake they take seriously.
Our policies are such that should not have happened, and now we have to look at that, and we have to make sure that we have things in place so that does not happen again.
A family continues to push for answers after a woman was found dead inside a Huntsville police van last week.
Christina Vance's mother, sisters, and cousins say there's still no clear explanation for how Christina's body ended up in the van outside of the Huntsville Police Department's public safety complex. News 19's Hunter Drinkard spoke with the family this afternoon. So, Hunter, what did they tell you?
Well, Greg, it's very obvious that the Nance family is grieving a very sudden loss of someone they say was quiet and shy, but who also loved to sing and dance. And 4 days after the Nance family learned that Christina had died, they're still struggling to understand how this could have happened. It was last Thursday when Latasha Nance got a phone call from her auntie Frida.
That's when she broke the news out to me. And my sister was gone.
Latasha's sister Christina had been found dead inside a Huntsville Police Department van at the department's public safety complex. According to police, an officer discovered Nance's body when he was walking to his car, which was parked next to the van. While an official cause of death has not yet been determined, Madison County Coroner Tyler Berryhill says he does not suspect foul play. But the Nance family says there are still unanswered questions.
Of how she got in that van, how she ended up in there. Why was the van even unlocked?
According to HPD, it didn't appear that anyone had broken into the van, but they haven't released any information on why or how Nance got into it. The department says the van was currently not in use. According to court documents, HPD had several encounters with Nance in recent years, but she was not in police custody at the time of her death. Now, as Christina's family cherishes the memories they have of her,
as the most lovable, fun, kind-hearted, sweet, innocent, beautiful soul, beautiful person inside and out.
they will also continue fighting to learn exactly what happened to her.
We want justice for Christina, for our sister. Answers. And footage. Yes.
Now, I reached out to Huntsville Police today to see if there were, in fact, security cameras in that parking lot. So far, we have not heard back. Meanwhile, the family has set up a GoFundMe account to help with burial expenses and the cost of an independent autopsy if they feel one is needed. If you'd like to donate, we have a link to that fundraiser on our website, WHNT.com.
jurisdiction of this court, defendant Brett Lawrence McAlpin, who willfully and lawfully feloniously prevent or attempt to prevent law enforcement from discovering facts related to the criminal activity of Hunter Thomas Elward, Christian Lee Dedman, Joshua Allen Hartfield, Daniel Ray Opdyke, and Jeffrey R. Wood Middleton to commit a crime to wit hindering prosecution in first degree violation of Section 97(1).
No, Your Honor. You signed your petition to enter a guilty plea? Yes, Your Honor. You understand everything in it?
Do you solemnly swear affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
The Michael Jenkins and Eddie Parker abuse case appeared in federal court, and there they pleaded guilty to a wide range of serious crimes. The U.S. Justice Department unveiled civil rights charges against the 6 men today. According to federal prosecutors, the defendants referred to themselves as the Goon Squad because of their willingness to use excessive force and not to report it. Those charged in the case are former Rankin County deputies Christian Dedman, Hunter Elward, Brett McAlpin, Jeffrey Middleton, and Daniel Opdyke, as well as former Richland police officer Joshua Hartfield. Hartfield was off duty during the January raid on the house in Braxton. Court documents show the officers went there because a neighbor had complained that black people were staying with the white woman who owned the house. U.S. Attorney Darren LaMarca commented a short time ago about the case and the heinous actions by the defendants against Parker and Jenkins.
I like to think of them as equal opportunity criminals, having abused handcuffed suspects regardless of race. These defendants committed heinous acts of violence against handcuffed victims whom they terrorized under color of law. As reflected in the information's unsealed today, these men sexually abused their victims, repeatedly tased them, tortured them, all under the authority of the badge which they disgraced.
And just a short time ago, State Attorney General Lynn Fitch announced her office has filed state charges against the 6 former officers. Right now, the former officers are in the custody of U.S. Marshals. The judge says the men will be sentenced in mid-November.
Now let's hear what our beloved Sister Ali has to say about this psychological warfare deployed against black men. Let's examine this.
We have a man who everybody hates. We hate him. His mama hate him. His family hate him. The white police hate him. The regular white men and white women hate him. This is a man who is hated by everyone. The only solace that God made for him was us. And when he comes to us and can't get any sanctuary at all, then he don't have no life. And then they win, because what they want to do is to destroy him and make us think that we are better than him, so that we will help the enemy destroy our own man that God gave to us. We have the best man on earth. Everybody want him. He looked better than everybody. He's stronger than everybody. He is the best, the wisest, and the most beautiful. Now, of course, many of our men have been tricked by the enemy too. But since we are the mothers, we are the first face they see. We are the first person they talk to. We the first person to feed them. We do all of that and raise them up. And so if there's a silly man out here, he didn't grow up and be silly. He was silly as a little boy because his mother mismanaged him and didn't reparent him using the truth.
Wow.
Now, what we're dealing with is a man who has been wounded and repressed and taught that he does not have any value. And their solution to keeping him in that condition is to convince us to tell him he ain't got no value. And many of us do that. Many of us do that because we're disappointed. You know, I've been talking with the brothers about trying to get in touch with or make peace with their fathers. Because many of our people who didn't have a father, we have that father hunger. And almost everything we know about our father was told to us by our mother, who was mad at him about their relationship. Wow. It has nothing to do with us being their child and them being our father. Fatherhood is not based on whether or not he can pay child support or not. We don't care as children. You can't find a child that care whether the father giving them anything. They want their daddy. Yes. And we have deprived them of that based on some rules that white people set up. And we will tell people he don't do nothing for him, so I don't let him see him. And that is the worst thing. That's not hurting the man as much as it's hurting our own child.
Now the brothers are giving up and they're calling it a movement like men going on their own way, the red pill. Men are calling it the manosphere. They're saying, forget about it. We're done with the black woman. We're going to tell her to go her way. Have you heard about this movement?
I have heard it a lot, but you have to remember they're dealing with decades of resistance and hostility and having their money taken. And now I'm not trying to flatter anybody. I'm just trying to tell the truth. We are losing our man because of the values that we have set on material things, and because of us having such a vicious mouth. We're so critical of everything. A man is not another woman. He's not gonna think like us. That's another thing. Let me get on that. We always want somebody to tell us the truth. We don't tell the truth. It's optional. We tell the truth when it's convenient, when we think it'll benefit us, when we think it'll make him admire us, or whatever. But we're not the truth tellers. So we always going around. Well, you know, the women used to tell me, they would be, like I said, they would have fake breasts, fake eyelashes, fake hair, and then they would tell me, but I want a real man. You know, and I used to laugh about that. I laugh about that because we ain't no more real than they are. We just lie differently. Okay? They're not as shrewd as us, so they get busted. They get caught and they lie. You know, we'll lie for 10, 20 years. We can lie for 10, 15, 20 years and don't never tell the truth about something.
In conclusion, Indigenous Black women, we advocate the defense of Indigenous Black women in these streets. We know we need unity, starting with the family. So we need everyone to do their part in protecting our people, starting with the men you select in your life or in your circle. Make sure you're getting someone that reflect the positive energy that you project out, that loves you like you love yourself. So if you want a good man, then you got to be a good woman. Have high standards. Instead of the men stepping over, have them step up. Understand this. And the person's only going to treat you the way you allow them to treat you. Understand this. We advocate the unity of our Indigenous family. Understand this. So again, practice self-preservation. Be vigilant at all times. Understand this, people. So I'm going to leave you in the manner in which I came, with a universal prayer. In the name of the universal creator of heaven and earth and everything in between, please bless our listeners, our families, our friends, and the true believers for when the day of reckoning takes place. For universal creator, you're all wise and all knowing, and unto you we all shall return. But until then, we give the praise and glory that's due to you from this life into the hereafter. In the name of the universal creator of heaven and earth and everything in between, in your name we pray that this shall be done. So again, family, stay vigilant in these streets and practice self-preservation. Again, like and share. Reach one, teach one. Peace and take care.
Bye.